Welcome to Wallace on Wire. Today, we're talking about Shahidan Kassim and his claim about leadership depth. Right, so this statement from Shahidan Kassim, a senior figure in Parti Islam Si Malaysia. Wow. I mean, I really had to picture. He didn't just say, oh, we have good leaders.
No, not at all. It was much more dramatic. He comes out with this really headline-grabbing image that Parti Islam Si Malaysia is so packed with prime ministerial talent, they could fill, 4 lorries. I mean, that's some serious confidence.
It is, and you have to see it for what it is strategically. It's a very direct, almost aggressive response to this critique that's been around for ages, hasn't it?
Yeah, the idea that outside their strongholds, they don't really have leaders with broad national appeal.
Precisely. That they lack figures who resonate across the whole country, who have the experience or, frankly, the acceptance needed for the top job.
Yeah.
So Shahidan comes in with this image, this metaphor. He's basically trying to visually bulldoze that criticism away.
Saying, look, quantitatively, we're overflowing. Your doubts, they're just wrong. He's trying to make the intangible leadership quality seem quantifiable and overwhelming.
Okay, let's try and unpack that quantification then. 4 lorries. That implies not just a couple of people, but like a whole system, a deep bench of talent ready to go, widespread capability.
It suggests they believe they have structures in place to identify and prep people for that level.
So where does this level of, well, almost swagger come from? Is it just recent election results?
That's certainly part of it. Their electoral strength gives them a foundation. But rhetorically, this 4 lorry thing, it signals something bigger. It's a shift in ambition, wouldn't you say?
Definitely. It feels like they're saying, we're not just the support act anymore.
Exactly. They're done being just the kingmaker or the essential partner in Parikatan National. They're positioning themselves, or at least claiming to, as a party fully ready to supply the prime minister themselves. It's about asserting parity, maybe even superiority, with allies like Parti Pribumi Bersatu Malaysia.
Right, setting the stage for future negotiations.
It's all about leverage when it comes down to it.
Okay, but here's where, my own skepticism starts to kick in a bit. If you genuinely have that much top-tier talent, 4 lorries worth, why isn't anyone named?
The secrecy question.
Why aren't we seeing these potential leaders front and center in national debates, shaping policy discussions? Shahidan's reason is, well, strategic defense. He said revealing them too early makes them attack targets.
Which is standard political risk management, isn't it? Control the narrative, control the timing. Don't give your opponents ammunition before you absolutely have to.
So they hold the names back, keep maximum flexibility. Shahidan apparently said something like, when the time comes, the people will know.
It's what they'd call strategic patience. The argument, I suppose, is that it's harder for opponents to tear down a candidate they don't know, compared to one who's been in the spotlight for months or years.
But does that really work at the national level? I mean, there's a huge risk here, surely. If you boast about 4 lorries of talent, but name absolutely no one, doesn't that just invite people to say, well, maybe those lorries are empty?
It absolutely opens them up to that criticism. It raises questions about credibility.
Because national leadership, especially in a place as complex and diverse as Malaysia, usually relies on visibility, doesn't it? On public vetting over time.
Trust isn't built overnight, especially for the highest office. Shahidan did try to counter this, though. He brought up the peerless state election example.
Right, I remember reading that. He said they didn't even announce a chief minister candidate, no poster boy, until after they'd already won.
And presented it as proof that this strategy works. It worked perfectly fine in peerless, which is, let's be honest, a relatively small, quite homogenous state.
Okay, but that's the key point, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can you scale that very specific, localized strategy up to the national level?
That's the million-dollar question, really. The national electorate is huge, incredibly diverse. Winning trust there is a completely different ballgame than winning in peerless. A national PM needs a mandate built on more than just party loyalty or machinery.
That difference between regional strength and national appeal is critical. So to try and bridge that gap, Shahidan didn't just stick to metaphors. He brought out some numbers.
The statistics, yes. Trying to ground the claim in something concrete.
He pointed out the difference between their registered party membership, over 900,000 members, he claimed, and the actual votes they got in general election 15.
Which was over 2 million votes.
That's a big jump.
Yeah.
Over double their membership base.
And that gap, that 2 million figure, that's the core of his argument for national readiness. He's using that number to imply, quite strongly, that their support must have gone way beyond their traditional Malay base.
The implication being that non-Malays must have voted for them in significant numbers.
That's the assertion. that those votes prove they have cross-ethnic appeal and are therefore ready to lead a multi-ethnic nation. He's trying to convert raw vote numbers directly into proof of broad acceptance.
2 million votes is definitely significant electoral clout, no question, especially within a coalition framework. But does it automatically mean readiness for multi-ethnic national leadership?
Well, that's where you have to pause and think, isn't it? People vote for all sorts of reasons. Sometimes it's a vote against someone else. Sometimes it's purely local issues.
It's not always a full endorsement of a party's entire national vision or their approach to, say, minority rights or cultural issues.
Exactly. Leading a multi-ethnic nation successfully requires more than just getting votes from different groups. It requires actively demonstrating that you understand, represent, and can be trusted by all major groups. If Parti Islam Si Malaysia is claiming significant non-Malay support based on that 2 million figure,
You'd want to see the evidence, right? Specific policies, actions, statements that show they're building those bridges, earning that trust across communities.
Shahidan's argument sort of skips that step. It assumes the votes alone are the proof of national acceptance. It's a leap.
So it's not just about getting the votes, it's about the broader perception and trust. Okay, let's shift gears slightly. How would they even choose a candidate from these supposed 4 lorries? Shahidan was careful about this part.
Yes, he stressed it wouldn't be a unilateral decision by Parti Islam Si Malaysia.
He said the final pick has to come from the party's supreme leadership, but crucially, in consensus with their coalition partners.
And that word consensus is key. It points directly to the tricky reality of coalition politics. That 4-lorry claim might be for public consumption, projecting strength outwards, but the consensus talk, that's aimed inwards.
Aimed at Parti Pribumi Bersatu Malaysia, mainly.
You'd assume so. They know full well that making a grab for the PM post without getting their main coalition partner fully on board could just blow the whole Parikatan National Coalition apart.
Which helps nobody if they actually want to form a government.
Right. So the internal dynamics, managing those relationships, is paramount.
And this claim of having loads of candidates, that gives them huge bargaining power in those internal talks, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It allows them to sit at the table with Parti Pribumi Bersatu Malaysia and say, look, we don't need to automatically defer to your preferred candidate. We have plenty of our own qualified people. It changes the dynamic.
It puts pressure on the partner.
And the process he outlined reinforces this need for agreement. He mentioned proposals coming separately from Bersatu's assembly and from Parti Islam Si Malaysia's own assembly.
Leading to a common ground. Sounds very formal.
It sounds structured, almost bureaucratic. And that's likely intentional. It's designed to manage those internal rivalries, stop individual ambitions from wrecking the coalition. The goal is to ensure whoever emerges, if they emerge, looks like a unified choice, not someone forced on the other partners.
So it's like they're trying to build a system, a process that can handle the pressure and prevent infighting, prioritizing the coalition's survival above everything else right now.
That seems to be the message. If you step back and look at the whole picture, this isn't really about whether there are literally 4 lorries of people. It's political theater, isn't it?
It's posturing.
It's posturing, signaling. Shahidan's statement is a declaration. Parti Islam Si Malaysia is saying, we're not the party you thought we were. We've evolved.
We're past being just a regional force.
We have the votes, look at the 2 million. We have the depth, look at the 4 lorries. We are ready to lead nationally. Treat us like it. That's the underlying message. So summarizing the main point then, Shahidan's using this bold claim to signal a major shift. They believe they've proven their electoral muscle, they claim they have the leadership depth, and they're asserting readiness for the top job, not just a supporting role. The leadership problem they've always been accused of. They're saying it's gone. That's the essence of the claim, yes. But perhaps here's a final thought, something for you, the listener, to mull over. Given how incredibly difficult it is to actually form a stable majority government in Malaysia today, with all the different factions and interests.
It's a real tightrope walk.
It is. So is the biggest political challenge really about finding 4 lorry loads of candidates within one party or coalition bloc? Or is the truly defining challenge finding that one specific individual?
One person who can do what exactly?
Someone who can actually bridge the gaps within their own coalition, manage the inevitable compromises, and crucially win genuine, widespread trust from the broader Malaysian public, that diverse electorate that goes far beyond those core 2 million votes.
Finding that single unifying figure versus just having a long list, that's the real hurdle, maybe.
Perhaps that's the ultimate test.
Remember to like and subscribe for more videos like this.